कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिनी नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्य देशतारिणे ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सखगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सखगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पदे गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ईश्वर परम कृष्ण सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर गोविंदा सर्व कारण कारणम। Hare Krishna. By the costless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, we are nicely studying Bhagavad Gita. I welcome those devotees who have joined for the first time for this Bhagavad Gita. So, Bhagavad Gita, the song of God, Krishna is actually giving us the knowledge what we need. So, this is the only song we need to listen. We need to understand. We need to practice. We need to follow. We need to recite. So all these things, if we just live as per this Bhagavad Gita, then we can leave this material world forever. That's what is very important. So if we are able to live as per the principles of Bhagavad Gita, we can liberate from this material bondage. So Krishna is giving us the step-by-step instructions about how to free ourselves from this material bondage. The soul is bonded to this material body. So we know we study different types of bonds, especially when you study chemistry. There are many bonds we study. So there is ionic bond and covalent bond and metallic bond, all kinds of secondary molecular forces. So like the different bonds. So like that, this soul, which is completely spiritual, the soul is not made up of matter. The soul is actually it's sukshma, and also with the mind's intelligence and ahankara, they are also sukshma, but the soul is actually bound. The soul is actually bonded to this matter, to this material body. So there is some bondage. So there is a force of attraction. So when we talk about the chemical bond, so there is a force of attraction. So like that, between this material veil and the soul, so there is a strong force of attraction. So that is binding the soul inside this material body. So now we need to break that bond. We need to cut down, or we need to cut all those attachments. That's what we are going to study in the sloka, like what we are going to study in the next slokas. Like today we are going to study the second sloka of 15th chapter. But this sloka number 3 and 4, Krishna is teaching us that one should cut with very strong force. So, asanga sastrena, the weapon of detachment. So, the soul is bound to this material body. That's what we need to know. So, if we don't make use of this opportunity to cut down all our attachments to this material world, or if we actually make the situation even worse by getting ourselves entangled more into this material world, by developing more and more attachments to this material world, so then our bondage to this world is actually going to become even very strong compared to how much we have now or how much we had at the time of birth. So depending upon how we act, So either we can increase that bond, our bondage to this material well, or we can actually cut down and slowly decrease, and then slowly completely when we cut down and when we detach from everything in this material well, then we can actually, we are freed. We are freed from this material well. At that time we are free to go to Krishna's well. At that time we will not be coming back to this well at all. Krishna is saying very, very clearly in Bhagavad Gita many times that once you get yourself freed from this material well, and once you come to my place, then you are not going to come back again to this material well. Yadgatva na nivartamte taddama paramam mama. That's what Krishna is teaching. So if you go to Krishna's well, we are not going to come back to this material well. So this is the knowledge we need to know, we need to understand. So that way, Yajnarthat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaga. So any act which we do, which is not in relationship with Krishna. Yajna means we are actually offering everything unto Krishna. That's what is called Yajna. Because Krishna is the Yajna Purusha. Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam. So Krishna is the enjoyer, Bhokta. Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasa. So Krishna is the enjoyer of all sacrifices. Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasa Sarvaloka Maheswaram. He is the Maheswara. He is the supreme controller of all the worlds. So Krishna is the enjoyer of all the sacrifices. All our sacrifice means all the results. That's why Krishna said that you don't have the right over the results. Only you have the right over the right to perform your duty, but you don't have the right to take the results. When you work in an industry or a company, I mean, let's say an example, a manufacturing company, when we work there, so we cannot say that whatever the product is made, I own everything. So we cannot say that. So the owner, the real owner is the one who owns the company. He owns everything. He owns the industry. He owns the profit, everything. So that way, here, when we work, when we act, when we do everything, we cannot say that the results belong to us. In fact, in reality also, we are not doing anything. Even we are not doing anything. Everything is done by the three modes of material nature. That part also we need to understand very clearly. And that way, we don't have any claim over the results. Kripana palahetava. A person who seeks, who goes after the results is a miser. That's what Krishna is saying. Kripanaha palahetava. So we should not be going after the results, knowing very well that the results are owned by Krishna. Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. Krishna is the enjoyer of everything. In fact, in reality, that's what is true. As long as we live, we claim that this is mine, that is mine. But when we leave, we are not here to claim anything. When we leave this world, when this body becomes a dead body, when the soul leaves the body, nobody talks about, nobody calls this body as with our name. Nobody calls with our name. Everybody says that it's a body. Whether that person is the most richest person or the most powerful person on this earth, but as soon as the soul leaves the body, that is simply called as body. That's it. So that way, the soul, we are not the body, we are the soul. And before we leave the soul, we should actually leave all our attachments to this material. Before we leave the body, the soul, before the soul leaves the body, so it should leave all the attachments to this material well. That's what is very important. We have to give up all the attachments to this material well, everything in this material well. If we are able to become successful in that effort, if we are able to completely detach ourselves from this material well, then there is no more bondage to this material well. So that's why Krishna is teaching us that anything which is not done as an offering unto Krishna, Yajnarthat karmano anyatra. Anyatra means which is not done for Krishna. So, lokoyam karma bandhanaga. So it binds us to this well. Lokoyam karma bandhanaga. So our bondage to this well will increase if we do any work which is not offered to Krishna. So that's why anything we do, whatever we do, we should do only as an offering unto Krishna. Arjuna in the beginning in the battlefield, when he thought that he is fighting for himself, he couldn't even do anything. But when he fought for Krishna, he was able to fight very, very nicely. Because he was fighting for Krishna, so that means he was offering the results to Krishna. Because Krishna said that, Krishna told Arjuna that I have come here to establish the principles of this Bhagavad Gita, principles of Dharma. So you just fight. You just fight for the sake of fighting without expecting the results. You don't worry about it, whether you are going to win or whether we are going to lose. Because Arjuna told Krishna, Yadva Jayema, Yadivana Jayeyu. So I don't know whether to win or to lose, then how can I fight? That was his question. So if I want to do something, I should know my end goal. But I don't know here whether I want to win or to lose. So Nachaitad Vidmaga Kataran no Gariyo. Nachaitad Vidmaga Kataran no Gariyo. Kataran na Gariyo means I don't know. Nachaitad Vidmaga means na Vidmaga means I don't know. Kataran na Gariyo means I don't know which one is good for me. So I don't know which one is good for me. Either to win or to lose. Yadva Jayema Yadivana Jayeyu. So to win or to lose. So which one is Jayema? Na Jayeyu. Na Jayeyu means to not win. So to lose. I don't know which is good for me. So then how I will be able, how I can fight here? That's what Arjuna told Krishna. But what Krishna said that? You just fight for me. Always think about me, just fight for me. Sarvesu kalesu ma manasmarat yuddhyacha. Why you are thinking about the results? You just fight for me. So that's what we are supposed to do. When we do any work, anything, we should not be thinking about, even before, many times when we start, when we want to do anything, even before starting the work itself, we think about the results only. That's what is the major problem with us actually. Even before starting the work, for example, if you want to attend an interview, before even start preparing for an interview, we will think that whether I will get this or not. So what if I don't get it? So we'll get into that mode. Or when we are preparing for an exam, we will be thinking about whether I'll get good grade or whether I'll pass or all these things. So anything when we do, before even starting it, if we think about the results, that means we are too much attached to the results. Let those results, whatever it comes, it belongs to Krishna, the results. But whatever we do, we have to do it to our level best. So that's what is very important. So that's what Krishna is teaching us, that you do it for me. You don't think about the results. Don't worry about the results. Whatever you do it as an offering unto me. Yat karosi tat kurusva madarpanam. That's what Krishna is teaching us. So that is what is called yoga. So Krishna is teaching in this Bhagavad Gita how to perform yoga, how to do our activity. So we need to do all our activities with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So without expecting any results. So that means we should actually all the time get ourselves attached only to Krishna. So when we are attached to Krishna, in our mind only Krishna is there. We don't have to think about the results because there is no time to even think about results. Of course, we do our work very, very nicely to our level best because our goal is, there is a goal. When we want to do any activity, anything, there is a goal. So what is our goal? Our goal is not the end result. Our goal is to please Krishna. So that is what our goal is. Our goal is only to please Krishna with our actions, to show, to prove that we love Krishna so much. That's what Arjuna did. Arjuna fought for Krishna. He didn't think about the results. He fought for Krishna. So in this life, we have only limited time. And every day when it goes, we are losing a day in our life. So we need to make that fast progress so that we can detach ourselves from this material world completely. Of course, we are going to get another chance also. There is no doubt. If we don't, all of us who are joining this class every day, who are attending this Bhagavad Gita class, there is no doubt, I've mentioned many times in the past, there is no doubt that we are all going to go to Krishna. We are all going to be freed from this material bondage. There is absolutely no doubt. Krishna himself uses this word, no doubt, many times in the Bhagavad Gita. Nasam sayega, asam sayega. So there is no doubt. Mamai Vesasi, you will come to me, there is no doubt. But we should go as soon as possible. That's what is very important. We don't want to keep coming back to this material world and suffer in this material world. So that way, every day is very important for us. Every moment is very important for us. And we know that our mind is very much disturbed. The mind is very strong and obstinate, and it is agitating and it is restless. So it's turbulent. So every day, the time, whatever we get it, we need to use it to control our mind, to make it as our best friend. By chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, by connecting ourselves with Krishna. So that way we can actually progress very fast towards Krishna. We can make that progress very fast. So that way we can actually detach ourselves from this material world. So for that reason, Krishna is teaching us now. Krishna is actually giving very nice example to illustrate about our life in this material world. So we need to understand Bhagavad Gita. Krishna actually gives excellent examples to understand. So that's what is very important. So Krishna many times, for example, this body Krishna is comparing to a dress what we wear, garments. So vasamsi jinani yatha vihaya navani grihnati naruparani tata sarirani vihaya jirnani anyani samyati navani dehi. So when our dress becomes old and useless, we throw it away and we get a new shirt. When our pant and shirt or whatever dress we wear, our garments become old and useless, we are not going to keep using it because it won't be usable at all. So then we will get a new one and we are so happy about it. We are so happy to get a new dress and we wear it. So similarly, when we get old, we should not be worrying about it. We should not be thinking that, oh, I'm going to die. I'm getting old, I'm going to die. In fact, it's like when our dress becomes old, when we are throwing it away and get a new dress, a new garment, we are so happy about it. So like that, when we are old, we should be very happy that we are going to get a new body, fresh body. That's what is very important. But we should actually get that body. New body means the new life in Krishna as well. So not a material body. We should not come back to this material world again. So that part we need to understand from Bhagavad Gita. So we need to go to Krishna as well. Otherwise also, if someone is a devotee who has so much faith on Krishna, so if we completely depend on Krishna, so in that case also there is no need to think or worry when we get old. Because we are on the path, we are on the way to Krishna, there is no doubt. If not in this life, it's okay, next life. We are going to go to Krishna. We are going to progress. We are going to go to Krishna. But in this life itself, we should put maximum efforts to reach Krishna as soon as possible. That's what is very important. Because it's not fun taking birth again in this material world and die again. Because this is a very difficult process of getting into a body like with a one single cell. And then that cell multiplies and then our various organs form. So all the time stuck inside this material body in the mother's womb, and then when we get released. So this is all not at all very fun situation. That's why right from birth itself, we are actually crying for oxygen. And now these days, unfortunately, because of this pandemic situation, we are again fighting for oxygen. So when we take birth, if we don't cry, then everyone worries. Everyone is worried. So they make sure that we cry so that we can get oxygen. So that way, at death itself, we are deprived of oxygen and we cry and then we get oxygen to breathe. So it has to kickstart. So our body has to start. So then when we start breathing, Krishna is saying that I keep both the ingoing and outgoing air, I keep them in balance. Pranapanam samayukta pachamyannam chaturvidam. I digest various kinds of food. Chaturvidam, 4 kinds of food. So that's what Krishna is teaching. So similarly at death also, our organs are not working good. And unfortunately, like when our lungs are getting infected, and not only because of this pandemic, in general also, when a person gets very old, these kinds of immunity won't be there, and easily we get infected, and especially the lungs, when it gets infected, it's very difficult to recover. All these problems are there actually. So that way, it is not good to keep coming back to this material well again and again. We should go to Krishna's well as soon as possible. So that way, being a devotee of Krishna, we should put as much effort as possible to free ourselves from this material bondage. So that means we should study Bhagavad Gita as much as possible. That means we need to spread Bhagavad Gita to as many devotees as possible. That's what is very important. If we just do that one task very nicely, we don't have to worry about anything. Everything rest will fall in shape, fall in place. So just spreading this message, making devotees everywhere. So just if we do this task very successfully by Krishna's mercy, everything will become very nice, normal in our life. So that's why Krishna is teaching us, comparing our life in this material world to an inverted banyan tree. So in the 15th chapter, the first sloka what we studied yesterday, Krishna taught us that even though we are studying the sloka in 15th chapter, as you notice, even if you join for the first time today, like all this time I was talking in general from different slokas in Bhagavad Gita. So that way you won't miss the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita at whichever point you join our class. So this is again a very nice analogy. Krishna is actually giving an example of our life in this material world. So Krishna is comparing our life in this material world to an inverted banyan tree. So, Urdhva moolam mataga sakam asvatam prahuravyayam chandamsi yasya parnani yastam veda saveda vidh. So Urdhva Moolam, the Moolam, the root is upward. The root is upward, going upward. So in this material way, so there is a tree. So there is the tree, banyan tree, Aswatam Prahur Avyayam. So there is Avyayam, imperishable. So there is Aswatam. So it's a banyan tree. It's an imperishable banyan tree. So that is actually inverted banyan tree. So where the roots are going upwards, Urdhva Moolam. Athaga Sakam, the branches are coming downwards. Athaga Sakam. Aswatam Prahur Avyayam. Chandamsi Yasya Parnani Yastam Veda Savedavid. The leaves are the Vedic hymns, and anyone who knows about this tree is the knower of Vedas. That's what Krishna is teaching us. So this about the Vedas, we don't have to really, these days, we don't have to go and study all the Vedas. This Bhagavad Gita, if we know everything. We really don't need to know anything else. So, Yajnatva Nega Bhuyo Nyadi Nyatavyam Avasisyade. If you understand this Bhagavad Gita, then there is nothing else is there in this world for us to know. That's what Krishna is teaching us. So, now in the next sloka, Krishna is continuing in the sloka number 2 in the 15th chapter. Atasvodvam prasiddhaga tasya saka guna pravriddha visaya pravalaga. Adascha mulani anusantatani karmanubandhini manushya loke. So in this inverted banyan tree, in the first sloka we studied, Krishna told us, its trunk is going upwards. So because it's an inverted banyan tree, trunk is going upwards. So, and then the branches are all coming downwards. So branches are all coming downwards. Now, ataschodvam prasiddha tasya saka. So these branches, they go, we know in the tree, the branches go like in any tree, banyan tree, when the branches go upward, downward, so like that, different branches are going. So like that, here this saka, these branches are going both upward and downward. So that's what ataschodvam prasiddha, extended. So tasya saka and guna pravriddha. And these branches are actually nourished by the three modes of material nature. Guna pravriddha. So that's why guna pravriddha, visaya pravalaga. So the pravalaga, the twigs are the sense objects. So that's why there are so many twigs are there. Each twig is a sense object. So that's what visaya pravalaga. So adaschodvam prasiddha tasya Saka Guna Pravriddha Vishaya Pravalaka. So this material well, this tree is actually getting nourished by the three modes of material nature. And the sense objects. So they are all the twigs. Twigs are the sense objects. And in this tree, in banyan tree, we know that there are not one root, the single root. So basically a very large trunk at the center. So through which the actual banyan tree, what we see in this well, so it stands. And then there are also several small roots actually, they go also they fix to the ground. So that makes that huge banyan tree very strong, strongly fixed to the earth. So in this inverted banyan tree, only the trunk is going upwards. Only the center part trunk is going upwards because it's an inverted banyan tree. Urdhva moolam atagas sakam. So aswatam prahuravayam. But all the other roots actually, they are going downwards to this earth. So imagine this is an earth surface and there is a huge banyan tree. And that banyan tree, so these things are all going towards the earth. These all these roots. So these small roots are all going and attached very much to the earth. And adascha moolani, that's what they are going downwards. This moolam, these roots are also going downwards. Anusantatani, extended downwards, and they bind one to the karma. That is karmanubandhuni manushya loke, karmanubandhini manushya loke. So that binds this manushya loka. So this is the manushya loka. This is the world of human society. That's what manushya loka. In this world, it binds ones to the bondage, karma, the karmanubandhini manushya loke. So that's what happens. So what we are supposed to do, we should be completely disconnecting all these roots which are connected to the earth. So the manushya loka. So because these roots are bondage, our bondage to this earth. So once we cut all these roots which are going downwards, everything we completely cut it. So then we are not connected to this well. The only thing we can move upwards towards the central trunk and go to the spiritual well. That is Krishna's abode. So that's what we need to do. So Krishna is in the next two slokas we are going to study at length how to cut all these roots, all these attachments to this material well. So Krishna is explaining so nicely for us to understand. So the branches of this tree extend downward and upward, nourished by the three modes of material nature. The twigs are the objects of the senses. This tree also has roots going down, and these are bound to the fruitive actions of human society. So Krishna is teaching us about how our life in this material world very nicely with a great example actually. This kind of examples only Krishna can think about it. Only the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, he can only think about it and teach us. So how nicely Krishna is explaining, how easy it is for us to understand about our life in this material world. It's so easy to understand. Everything Krishna is teaching, giving excellent examples, analogy, very nicely for us to understand. So once we study and understand this Bhagavad Gita and follow what Krishna says, then we will be able to control our mind and we will be able to cut down all these attachments with the weapon of detachment. So with the weapon of knowledge, jnana shin atmanagam. So by Krishna's mercy, then we can actually climb in that banyan tree with the trunk, we can go up to the spiritual well. So we can completely get ourselves disconnected from this material well. So that's what the life is about. Our life is, we are not the body, we are the soul. We need to have this knowledge. Without having this knowledge, we will keep falling, we will keep in that roots, all with that roots, we will keep bound and it will produce even more roots and our bondage to this well, material well can become even more stronger. All such things can happen with what kind of activities we are doing. So by Krishna's mercy, we have got the opportunity to slowly cut one by one to elevate ourselves to Krishna. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we have successfully finished the second sloka in the 15th chapter. Hare Krishna. So let us chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. That's what we do every day. So to cut down all these attachments to this material way. Hare Krishna. So that we can remember Krishna when we chant this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथ स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। When we chant this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, just focus on the transcendental sound vibration. So when we say Hare Krishna, focus our mind on that sound. Wherever our mind goes, bring it back and again focus on that sound. So this is the practice. When we become expert in this process, then we will be able to control our mind. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare